Namaste, I'm Arunima. I wanted to ask you a question today. In fact, number of questions. Are you living a life wherein you are caught into the loop of what ifs? Or are you replaying a lot of conversations that have happened previously in the past and also wondering if people are judging you or what you did, was it right or not? If this has been a way or a pattern in your life, and if thinking about, oh, the peace of mind has been a past thing for you, you may be caught into the pattern of overthinking, right? And today I wanted to discuss with you some of the ways you are inviting overthinking in your life. And when I say you, I do not mean to say that I have not been there. I've been there, and that is why when I came over it, I'm here to discuss it with you. The first way of understanding, how we overthink, very, very, easy way of understanding, very direct link, okay, is the fact that we overthink issues which we underfeel. We overthink issues which we underfeel. Let's take an example. So let's say that you loved someone, but that person did not think of you on the same lines, okay? That person left you, abandoned you, whatever may have happened, you underwent a heartbreak, okay? What the general people do when they try to be cool and they try to handle it in the best possible way, unfortunately, is the fact that we think, oh no, I'm going to be out with my friends, I'm going to enjoy life, I'm going to read books, and I'm going to go for vacations and things like that. We try to be with more people and we try to ignore that emotion completely. And this is where we are committing the biggest of errors. It's a blunder. Because when we don't give that emotion the time that it requires, we're not purging that emotion. And guess what happens? It keeps coming back to us every now and then in forms of overthinking. You can think of two people. Let's say one person has had a heartbreak. What this person does is goes out with friends, enjoys a lot. Oh my God. Second person sits down with the heartbreak, takes a long time to purge that pain, and then moves on. That first person will keep going back to, let's say, the social media profile of that person. Will keep asking the friends what might have happened, what do you think was the reason this person said no to me, and things like that. We'll keep replaying those scenes. We'll keep thinking, maybe I should have said this, or maybe that day I should have, confessed in this manner. Maybe I should have taken more time, things like that. While the other person who has taken enough time to sit with the emotion, cried, like shed tears, will eventually stop overthinking, will eventually move on in life and accept it, accept the situation as it is. So when you underfeel something, you overthink about it. That's one direct way of understanding. So whenever you are overthinking about it, just ask yourself this question. Did I not feel a certain emotion enough, or did I not stay with a certain emotion enough when it was required to? You will get the answer. You must feel it if you want to heal it. Okay? That's one way of understanding overthinking. Getting on to the next point, another way of understanding overthinking is also looking at the amount of digital devices we are using. Okay? The digital devices are filled with, I wouldn't say negativity directly, but they drain your energy. Yes, they drain your energy. Let's imagine on a Sunday you realize that, okay, I'm going to enjoy today. I'm not going to do any work. You wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning, 10 a.m., and then you watch as many movies or you Netflix the whole day. Do you feel fresh by the evening when you've watched 2, 3 movies or series and things like that? You don't. Because you know what? Digital devices, they take away our, positive energy. They drain us of our positive energy, okay? So that's one way of understanding how digital devices can actually be harming our mental state. The second way of understanding is to actually keep track of the kind of content you're watching. Okay, what kind of content are you watching? If you're watching a lot of horror movies, you're watching a lot of violence, even news, people are getting killed and people are this, that, the whole day you are watching these things, or you are like, overeating these contents, is just like food to your brain. You are setting up a brain which is not going to be at peace at all. So how do you expect there to be calmness and silence You'll keep overthinking issues. Now sometimes you may take this test, okay? So the fact that, let's say that, on a certain day you were supposed to be sleeping at 9 o'clock, which is the ideal time to sleep, and you kept watching something, let's say news or some movie or whatever till 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and then you think, no, oh, 12 o'clock I'm going to go off to sleep. Were you able to sleep instantly? Most likely you were not, right? Because the mind was made to think of issues which were not about rest and peace. Okay, added with the negative aspects of the devices draining your energy, you will not be able to sleep. Obviously the mind will keep going back and replaying those scenes, making you overthink not just those things that you've seen, but also overthink your own lives. Like people who have watched a lot of Crime Patrol thus tak, they would be able to tell you that they started, they started wondering about everyone. Is this person right? Is that person right? Okay. So digital devices can be a great reason why you're manifesting overthinking into your life. That was the second way. Third way of understanding, why is this coming to your life is your food habit. Are you Zomatoing every day? Are you Swigging every day? Are you having a lot of coffee? So when you take in food which is not going to be digested quickly, or when you take in food which slows down the metabolism of the body, be ready to have a mental state which is going to put you down into overthinking everything, into self doubt. Am I doing this right? Is this the right content? Or, like about everything. Maybe you are doing some work. Oh, I think I have not done the work good enough. Or, it can be related to anything, even related to your looks or whatever. The food, now I'm sure you must have heard this before me as well, that the gut is the second brain. In fact, the scientists and yogis were trying to prove that the gut is even more important than the brain. And you must try to, get yourself into more knowledge about the gut, because if the gut is not in a happy state, your mind will not be in a happy state, your intuition dies, and then you get into a situation of overthinking and self-doubt. Right. The next way of understanding overthinking is also understanding your own self talks. How do you talk to yourself? Like, let's say you look at the mirror and the very first thing you look, oh my god, my eyes are so small. Oh my god, I cannot speak without a filter, and things like that. Added with, what kind of company do you have? I am the right person to tell you how company makes a huge difference. Having a bad company versus being in solitude is, a no brainer. Please understand that it's better to be alone than to be with people who are going to pull you down, who are going to tell you all sorts of wrong things. In many families, I've seen this has been the trend. The siblings talk to each other with so much of insult, and they think it's funny. Or the friends talk to each other in an abusive manner, and they think, oh my god, this is so funny and this is so friendly. You're putting down each other. Now, you're not letting the other person believe and trust themselves. And I've been in such company for a very, very long time. And now I find solitude to be much better than anything else. Because if you cannot uplift me, especially if you know what my life has been like, and I'm sure everyone's life is filled with sadnesses, if you cannot uplift me, I don't need your company. I'm sorry. When you need my help, you can come to me. But I will not come to you, because I don't want to, after doing all this meditation and yogic practices, I don't want to, give away my energy just like that. And that's something which you need to understand finally. Because let's say if you're thirsty and the only option is poison, I hope you understand that you should wait a little more to be able to reach the place where you can get water. Don't take in poison. And you may think that these people are not bad, but they have toxicity inside them, which wherein you need to maintain that distance. In fact, you may yourself be that person who speaks like that to other people. Mind yourself now. Apart from that, we can also understand that you can understand overthinking as a fear. Overthinking is also, also comes to you as a fear of judgment, in fact. Like if you overthink, okay, was I looking good enough? Now let's say there was a party or something and you just planned that I'm going to wear this, that and the other, and my watch is going to be like that. The accessories I'm going to carry is like that. Yet someone's look or lack of compliments makes us question, was I looking good enough or not? The kind of families we have grown up in, or the kind of friendships we have grown up in, we Assume, I don't know, and assume is ass you me. You make an ass of you and me when you assume. We assume that close people are not going to give you compliments, which is the worst thing ever. You must tell your friends, family members when they're looking good or bad, or whatever, like constructive criticism, what you call, and when they're looking good you must compliment them, but we don't generally do. So what happens, we can understand overthinking in this way is that we also have a fear of judgment. Was I looking good? Did I speak well or not on the stage? Okay, the food that I have cooked, is it tasty enough? Things like that. So ask yourself this question, stop and ask yourself this question: what am I overthinking about? Which fear is it telling me about? What do I have to do about that fear? How can I face that fear? Okay, so you have to go on that line to understand how to deal with it. Okay, so there is always some fear also behind your overthinking. Okay, oh my god, I'm going to fail in mathematics. So what is the fear? The fear of mathematics, the fear of wondering I will not be able to you know um, practice enough of maths. So what can you do in that situation? You can actually go and practice enough of maths, or make a plan, outline how much time do you need to allocate. Okay, so planning, understanding, goal setting can actually make you fight over all these problems if they're related to fear. Okay, what are the ways you can actually stop yourself altogether from overthinking? And I actually am there where I don't overthink at all. It's been years now. So one of the best ways is to be in nature. Okay, if you go in nature, if you can sit in nature, if you can go for a nature walk, there's nothing like that, because nature is filled with healing properties. It's going to give its fresh air, and even if it's like very hot, let's say in this kind of a April May kind of a situation in Delhi NCR also, you can still think about it. Okay, and nature will give you, impart its healing qualities to you. A lot of us are just you know closed in AC rooms, and we think that only the temperature is what makes a difference. If you really want to be healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, I think nature is very important. Second way is you need to understand that in this noisy world you also need silence. Okay, you need silence, and silence can come through meditation or just keeping quiet. Even keeping quiet can bring about that mental peace, which will automatically get you into the situation or the role of the observer. And you start observing, why am I thinking so much? Why do you have to, or, things like, when you keep quiet and you listen to your own thoughts, you will also start realizing that these are the kind of thoughts I have. I don't trust myself, or I, care a lot for external validation. So these statements, when they come to you, you'll understand that who is the real you. The observer is the real you. When you come to know that, overthinking will start flying away. Okay. Alpha beats is another great way. If you don't know how to meditate, or you don't know which meditation to pick up, which healing to get into, just go to YouTube. You are already on YouTube. Go and switch on alpha beats, and just sit down 10 minutes, closing your eyes and just listening to the alpha beats. Tuck, 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 tuck. It will automatically take you to that state of thoughtlessness. Okay, and you will realize, even if you visit that 10 minutes in one day, you will be able to attain, you will be able to flush out overthinking sooner. Okay, on the same lines, like getting into the alpha state is not only through alpha beats. Getting into the alpha state involves you to do activities which are mindless. Now by mindless I don't mean mad. Okay, mindless, for me that mindless activity is singing, sometimes it's dancing, sometimes it's yoga, sometimes it's walking. All these activities, when you're doing these activities, for you it may be reading a book, or for you it may be drawing or painting, or playing a certain instrument, or playing some what do you say, physical outdoor games. I'm not talking about playing games on the device. Okay. So these kind of things, they are going to take you to the alpha state. And please, I'll repeat myself, I'm not talking about playing games on devices. No, they don't take you to alpha state, they only drain out your energy. Okay, and put in wrong information in your brain on the lines of violence and whatever. Okay, so when you take yourself into this mindless state, like let's say when I'm singing, and I'm feeling those emotions which are not even mine. Okay, and I'm going to depths of singing, and I'm in the flow state. Or when I'm dancing and I'm totally focused in my body, how my body is moving, I'm enjoying the music. When you get into that state, if you can actually allot even half an hour of your day into those states, you will stop overthinking. Okay. Grounding is a great way. Grounding, if you can actually go into the park where there's grass and you can put your legs there for 10 minutes, imagine that all the negativities are being flushed out of your body. Okay. You can imagine the negativity in a certain color, maybe brown or black. It's just flowing out of your body. For 2-3 minutes, you're imagining everything is flowing out of your body and you're becoming clear. The next few minutes, what you can imagine is once it has flown, into the earth, into Mother Earth is kind of, you know, extinguishing that negative energy completely. And then, just like another tree, because we are also the kids of Mother Earth, we are being nurtured with, healing energy. And then you imagine that healing energy is coming through your legs into your entire body and you are shining with white light. Just 10 minutes of this process, you will see the difference. I was When I had my fracture last year, I was not able to walk. I first, used Reiki to heal myself. The very next day after the plaster was taken off, okay, I started walking. And the first thing I did after walking was I went to the park and I sat there. Within 2-3 days, I started walking fast as well, because Mother Earth has healing energy. Okay, so grounding can be done this way. In fact, but however, sometimes we are not able to reach, the green patches. And if you don't have the time and it's quite late, then what you can do is you can just sit on your bed and just in your sukhasana, the way we meditate. Let your hands be facing the sky and imagine roots growing out of your legs, and roots growing out of your root chakra. Root chakra is the tailbone. Okay, so imagine roots growing from your legs and going deep down into the earth, and imagine the same process. This will also bring about, a lot of peace in your mind, and done on a regular basis. In a week's time, you'll see that overthinking is like flying away. Journaling is a great way. Whenever you are overthinking about a certain thing, start journaling that. When you will journal it, within 3 to 4 minutes, you'll start realizing, oh my God, this is absolutely baseless. Why am I thinking about this? Right? So that's a great way. Another way is a no-brainer. The next way I would talk about is a no-brainer. Digital detox. Like on the days I do my digital detox, I get at least 5 times more work done in my house. Like I put my phone away, I put my laptop away, and I've decided I'm not going to touch these devices today. Okay, so that day I managed to do 5 times more work, and I'm like really happy also. And last but not the least, I wanted to talk about breath work. Breath work is a great way. You can think of pranayams, and again, these are available on YouTube like anything. These are also available on Google. There are articles related to it. Breath work can actually bring about that, that balance in your body. Okay, and it has to do with your the different nerve systems inside your body, and it's going to take your about the Ida Nadi and the Pingala Nadi. These two represent the sun and the moon. So sun represents masculine energy, moon represents feminine energy. When you bring a balance between these two, closing your nostrils, now opening your nostrils, or taking how many seconds to take a break and things like that, there are so many pranayams. The breath work is actually breathtaking, I would say. It changes your life altogether. And yes, most of the people know yoga for asanas, right? So most of the people think yoga is just like, another way of exercising, like for losing weight and things like that. Yoga, when you talk about asanas, it's like massaging your entire body. When you talk about pranayams, oh my God, your entire body feels refreshed, your mind feels refreshed. Of course, there are higher levels of yoga, which you can only cross after you've crossed these. I'm hoping that it has been a great help. I hope you are going to take my suggestions seriously and follow at least 2 to 3 of them. And if you do, please let me know in the comments. And if you like the content of my channel, please do subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share the content with others. Signing off, Arunima. Namaste.